everyone, Erum here today with another watercolored card. The card that I have to share today is not going to take long to make, but it would look like that you spent a while watercoloring it and putting it together. I'm using the inked Flora stem set today. This is such a cool stem set. It has these sketchy lines that would go well if you add a bit of doodling of your own. And it would look like everything is hand drawn by you. I think this would work well in art journaling too. I will heat emboss the images in antique gold. When you use antique gold embossing powder, it sets the tone for the card as more festive. And that also helps you to fake it a bit that there's more work done on your part. After heat embossing all the images, I'll apply water to the entire image and add a light color wash of cotton candy watercolor. This will make the watercoloring process faster, and because the image has sketchy lines, messy watercoloring will go with the look, and we all know how quick and fun watercoloring becomes when it's a messy kind. Today I'll dab in concentrated pigment to show depth. First I'll add cotton candy, and to add slightly darker and brighter shade I'll use coral berry watercolor. If you are using a water brush, what dabbing will do is add water to that area so that you get a mix of concentrated and diluted color. So there's a range in that color shade, and that is when it starts looking interesting, and it looks like you have added layers of color by letting one layer dry and then adding the next, but in reality that is not the case. So this is another step that falls under the faking it that you worked hard on your project bit. The only thing that you have to watch out while coloring is that try not to add concentrated pigment on the underside of the petal so that we have some distinction between petals. Don't want a color blob for a flower now, do we? Alright, so I die cut the images with the coordinating dies, and they don't look so hot at the moment because of bad light. But please take my word for it, the light colors and the gold embossing does look very pretty in person. I have this piece cut out of wood grain powder cardstock. I will use this as my card front. Once I'm done arranging the images, I'll glue this onto a craft cardstock base. I'm going to use foam tape to pop the flowers and glue the leaves directly. These flowers are huge, so I'm arranging them in a way that 90% of my card front will be covered. You can also use the same layout to make a one-layer stamped card. But that will take a tad longer because of all the masking you'll have to do, and also it will take away from all the pretend/fake work that we want to show off. You will lose some of that if you don't have dimension. The dimension on today's card is helping me a lot in faking it. Okay, so I'm going to cut off all the excess, the images that are larger than the panel. I'll use these extra bits and add them to add more foliage to my card front. This will make it more fuller and saves you the time of coloring separate images, and other fake it step for you. Now I'll add the sentiment. Since the colors are light and this looks really delicate in person, I thought I'd heat emboss the sentiment on vellum. Again, using antique gold embossing powder so it goes with the rest of the card and also to maintain that pretty look. To add a bit more bling, I'll use the Altenew glitter tape in gold and add a thin strip on the lower edge of the vellum sentiment band. I love this tape and use it in a way that I can take out a couple more strips out of the length that I have cut. So this tape is going to last me a long while. Though this tape is not expensive, a pack of silver and gold glitter tapes for $5.99 is pretty good. And there's a lot of it. I'm not sure about the length, but it's a lot. I've been using it for over a year now and it still looks brand new. After trying out a couple of placements and then completely flipping the card panel around, I'll glue this sentiment band, and then I'll add fine black paint splatters because I thought it looked a little bland. Someone asked me about how to get fine splatters. It's the brush size. Small size brush will result in smaller size fine splatters. Larger size will give you larger splatters. Water is also a factor. The more water is in the brush, the bigger the splatters. Okay, so that is all from my side today. I'll just pop some gold sequins or confetti on this for more bling. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. It does look like I spent a lot of time making this, but it took me less than 30 minutes. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye.